attend. This was my first association with XLR. I had got a call from Miss Shubha, and we fixed a drive here. Today when we came here, I was not expecting much, but the hospitality was too good. Staff is quite cooperative, and it's like a happy-go-lucky kind of a environment here when it comes to XLR people. When it comes to candidates, yeah, we have got few candidates, and they are all agreeing to all our terms and conditions, and I hope they join the organization and work for us, and I'm expecting long-term association with XLR people, with more recruitments or more collaborations with them.
XLR has been a good partner for us because we found some of the candidates were excellent, and we wanted people with good business experience, not only just the Java or whatever full stack development or whatever they were being trained on. They were also people with a good background knowledge, and whom we have really shortlisted, and we assume that they are going to make a good career in Busy Brains.
XLR arranged our placements for the Busy Brains company. I felt good. I hope that it will be positive for us and change our lives in IT sector. So thank you, XLR.
Hi, my name is Revant. I joined XLR's course of data analytics. While the course was going through, the faculty were very good. They were guiding us really well, and they were providing in-depth insights of the industry. We were taught the latest things. We were taught what the industry needs, and after that, post completion of my course, we were going through a live project where we were facing real-time scenarios, and we were encountering all those scenarios which we would be encountering in a job. We completed the project, and we got through a certification which stated that we got a data analytics certification from XLR, and after that we were placed in mock interviews, and they also gave us how the interviews are and how tough they are. The interviews were really good, and post completion of the mock interview they started placement drives. Today is my first placement drive in a company called Busy Brain. I really want to thank XLR for providing me this opportunity, and I'm really hoping to see much more opportunities in the future. Thank you, XLR.
When I came into XLR, the learning experience was very good. Today there was the interview session from Busy Brains company. The interview session went extremely well. I got to learn many new things. Thank you, XLR.
So I'm here to do a campus drive. I'm coming from a company called Dotline. I deal with HR and operations, and unexpectedly I got a call from Ashwin sir. So he was saying about XLR solutions and the way he approached us, saying that the candidates will be trained as per our requirements. Digital marketing was the immediate requirement. We have gone through the interview process. It was quite excited to see good number of talent pools in XLR. We could shortlist couple of them, and we have given some placements as well, even both for the full-time as well as internship. So overall our experience with XLR is nice, and we look forward for a long-term relationship with XLR and the excited team. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Rupesh, and I work with Dotline as a performance marketeer, and I've got about like 15 plus years of experience. So today I happen to come here for the placement drive. Rightfully matched few profiles based on the requirement that we had. I'm so happy that XLR did a great job in terms of getting the pool of talents out and training them, and lucky that we are here so that we got the right match and we were able to get it. And thank you so much, XLR. Thank you.
So hello guys, myself Mohammad Tarheeb. I am a graduate from aviation background, and then I thought of doing my course in digital marketing. So then XLR was the best opportunity for me. I took out digital marketing from them, and then I enhanced my skills in digital marketing. They offered me a campus drive in a company called Dotline. They gave us 3 days of good session for student development program, wherein they gave us a good opportunity of learning whatever the skills is required for the interview, for us to enhance our skills and then perform well in interview. So yeah, after the interview went well, and I have got selected in Dotline Designs right now, and I am excited for the opportunity coming up.
Hi, I am Pinky. I did my MBA in HR. How I got to know about this institute is through Google. And then we got a wonderful trainer whose name is Asar. He used to give theoretical ideas, and for this interview we had a prior 3-day session for just brushing up all the requirements needed to attend the interview, which is again a wonderful thing from XLR team. So I had a good experience in attending the interview session for Dotline company. Thank you.
Hi, good evening, Chandana. Can I start?
Hello, students. Hello, everyone.
Hello,
Yes, College.
am
Yeah,
I
you
am
can
I
start
audible?
this. Yeah, you're audible.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So let's start. Okay. Doing a quick recap of where we have reached till now. Okay. So, firstly, in the first session, we understood what prompt engineering is, what generative AI is. We explored a little bit what are the language models, okay, and what is the capacity or what is the ability of GPT 3.5. We can go ahead and use it for what all purposes. In the previous session, we learned a basic implementation of the GPT 3.5 API, where we went ahead and hit those API and we, you know, expected desired output from the model and we got correct. So we can go ahead and pass our own data and let the model go ahead and answer to according to that data is something which we achieved. Okay. But that's not everything. Today we would be starting with kind of project, you can say. We would be going ahead and starting with that, and we would be solving a problem statement, which is nothing but making the chat GPT work on live data. This is something which we will go ahead and achieve. So if you go ahead to your basic chat GPT, if you go ahead and ask what is the current weather in Mumbai, I believe it won't be able to go ahead and answer because it does not have access to live data. What we would be doing is we would be empowering OpenAI to go ahead and respond to the live data. This is something which we are going to achieve. Okay, maybe by today or maybe we can continue till tomorrow. Okay, so depends how the speed goes. Okay, I just want to understand from you people how many of you actually did try, went ahead and hit the API for OpenAI after the session yesterday or like on Friday. How many of you actually did that? Anyone? Okay, seems no one did that. Okay, no worries. So I would be sharing my screen now. Okay, just give me a confirmation if my screen is visible or not. Okay, so what we would be doing is I would be going ahead and creating a new folder from for our project. Okay, okay. So the tools which we are using, I would also give you an overview. We are using VS Code for all the implementation part, and we would be using Jupyter Notebook along with .py file. Okay. So I would be typing the code. Last time what happened is due to the shortage of the time, the code was already written. Today I would be going ahead and typing the code so that you deeply understand each and every thing which I am trying to go ahead and mention over here. Okay. So, what we would be doing is for the people who were not present in the previous session, it would be a quick revision for you. You can also go ahead and understand how the basic API call of GPT works like. Okay, how to do a basic API call to the GPT. Okay, so what we would be doing is we would be creating a new Jupyter notebook for that, and we would be saving it as main.py. Sorry. Okay, that's it. Okay, so the very first thing, if for the people who are already introduced to how programming exactly works in Python, so we would be importing the library, and the library which we would be interested in would be OpenAI. Okay, so we would be going ahead and importing OpenAI. So, people who do have access to all this VS Code and everything, I would request you to go ahead and type along with me so that if you face any error, we can solve it real time. Okay, so now let's start. Okay, so for people who are absent, let me just tell you. Okay, so this is something which is ready-made available on the OpenAI website. Okay, you can go there and get the code from there. This is not something which I'm going ahead and typing on my own with my understanding. This is something which is ready-made available on the OpenAI website. You can get the code from there as well. Okay. Okay, the model which we would be using would be GPT 3.5 Turbo. Okay, so what's happening till here? We are just calling the chat completion layer from the OpenAI. Okay, and then we are calling the model which would be 3.5 turbo, and we are defining what would be the messages. The messages would be the message list. We have not defined message list. That's the reason it is showing error. Temperature, I explained. You can anyone type me over the chat box what temperature means quickly. I explained what temperature means and what is the significance of temperature, what could be the range of temperature. There's something which I told in the previous session for the people who are present. Can anyone tell me? Yes, anyone can tell me the significance of temperature? Okay, so this is how you just go ahead and make a simple call to the 3.5 GPT Turbo API. So I'll try to run this. Okay, so it is done. Let's print the output. Let's save the output first. Okay, so if I go ahead and the GPT 3.5 Turbo or OpenAI API flow works quite simple. Okay, so whatever you send to the bot comes under the role user. Whatever bot is giving you as a response come as a role assistant. Okay, so this is the difference between OpenAI का assistant and user wala message. Okay. Temperature is equal to random text generator. I'll explain you what is the exact significance of temperature. The low the temperature, more the fixed response it would be going ahead and generating you. The higher the temperature, the higher the variance in the response which you will see. Okay, so temperature is nothing. How much variation do you want to see in the response for the same question? Okay, so now this is the basic structure, or I would say the base structure of the OpenAI, how you go ahead and call the API. Okay, So now if I go ahead and ask it what is the current weather in Mumbai. Okay, and if I run this, it says, I am sorry, but as an AI assistant, I do not have real time information. You can check current weather in Mumbai using weather website. It has redirected us to some website, but we want to make use of ChatGPT to go ahead and know the current weather of any you know state or country it could be. We want to go ahead and make it a use, and we want it to have access to real time data. So how we would be going ahead and achieving that is something which I would show you today. Okay, so this is the project which we would be going ahead and performing today. Okay, so everyone is clear what is the project which we are doing, or do you have any doubt on exactly what is the problem statement which we are trying to solve today? There can be anyone who have not understood it, you can let me know. Yes, or should we start? Okay, I'll repeat myself. Okay, so Chat GPT or GPT 3.5 Turbo or any language model do not have access to real-time data. They are trained upon some data, and if you go ahead and ask the question to them, they would go ahead and respond. But they do not have access to live data, like the question which I asked, what is the current weather in Mumbai? So it is not able to answer that because it does not have access to live data. Now, what we would be doing is we would be doing a project in which we would be giving the language model such as GPT 3.5 Turbo the ability to go ahead and access live data and respond to your question. Okay, so this is what we are going to achieve today. Clear till here? Okay, seems good in messages. Okay, so now we would be getting introduced to a function which is there in OpenAI directly, which is known as function call. Okay, function calling is an option in which you can go ahead and redirect your what we say model to some function where it would you can go ahead and design what is the kind of task which your model would be now going ahead and performing. Okay, so now I would be going ahead and showing you what changes when you go ahead and do function call. So all you need to do is you just need to go ahead and write functions and call is equal to. Okay, so this is what I believe you need to do. Okay, and you need to go ahead and define that what is the role which you are assigning to your model. Okay, so this function is something which we would be going ahead and creating a new file. Okay, or else what we can do is we can add it here as well. We can add this function here as well. Okay, so now we need to go ahead and add a function or define a role to GPT, like what exactly it would be going ahead and in under which situation it would be going ahead and triggering this function. Okay, so we need to give the name to the function. Okay, so we can give the name to the function as get weather information. Okay, and a short description as well. What you could write in the description: only when the user asks for the current weather in any state or country or city. Okay. So under this situation, when the user is asking for the weather, okay, the current weather in any state, city or country, in only that situation we need to go ahead and activate this function which is known as get weather information. Okay, so what we are doing is we are giving the ability to GPT to route itself to a particular direction under special case scenarios. And here we have a scenario where we are going and routing the GPT to some function where any user comes and asks about the weather in a particular state, country, or city. There may be a possibility that user may come and say, I want to know the current weather, but it may go ahead and forget to, or it may go ahead and not found it important to go ahead and mention the city name or the country name. So it should always be taken care of that you have the slot available with you. So I am making introduce to a very important concept which is known as slot. So whenever you are asking a weather, or whenever you are asking to whether to any language model to go ahead and give the information, obviously it would be going ahead and making it to any API. So APIs for weather are freely available, but what they require is they require which city or which country or which state you are talking about. So it's very important that we extract the particular city name or country name or state name from the user. Okay, so here comes the second thing which we need to mention is parameter. Okay, and here I believe we would be having only a one parameter, okay, or parameters you can say. I would be having only one parameter, uh, which would be type. Let's keep object for the time being. Right now I'm writing city name, but it could be anything. It could be a state name, country name, or whatever it may be. Okay, I am giving it as a name, as city name. Okay. The type would be string. So people who are not aware with the basics of Python, so string is nothing but characters you can say, but that's not the right definition. But let's for an example take characters. So user would be giving the state, country, or the city name in the form of character. Okay, any point of time you feel like you are not understanding anything, just ask me over the chat box. I can start from again where you have not understood. Okay, so let's give a short description about this. Okay, so the name of the city, state or country. Okay, what exactly is city name? City name is nothing but the name of a city, state of country. If not mentioned, we need to set a default value. When we are setting the default value to none. Okay, so this is what we have done till now. Okay, so we have created a function in which we have given the description that this function would be activated only when the user is talking about current weather. Okay, and this will take an object as an input in the form of string, and and it could be anything, and if it is not mentioned then the default value is none. Do we have any doubts still here? Let me know. Yes, you can raise your hand. Obviously you can have doubt, you can ask doubts. In the meanwhile, I am solving a issue which I am facing right now, which is an issue for comma. I believe I have forgot somewhere. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so I have created the function over here. I see few people doubt. Okay, yes, the code is in Python only. This is not a function, this is just a variable which I am creating a function, but this is not a function. Yes, functions are defined by def, but this is not a function. I've just given the variable name as function. Okay, so now see, from here I am sorry, and where it is directly denying to go ahead and help you. Let's see where we have reached. Okay, so I would be going ahead and defining, or defining this variable. The same question again. Get weather information, some issue. Okay, let's try. Okay, done. Let's see the output, and here we go. Can you see this? What we have achieved? Okay, so what we have achieved is, whenever a user is talking about the weather, it will go ahead and now create a JSON for you, and it will say that this belongs to the category get weather information, and the user has mentioned a city name, and which is Mumbai. Let's try to alter this. I just say, who is the PM of India, and let's see how it reacts to that. The Prime Minister of India is Narendra Modi. Okay, so this is what it has given respond to. Okay, and if I go again back to the same question, what is the current weather in India, let's say. Okay, it has detected that again I am talking about some weather information, and it has given me the slot as India. So this is something which I can take and pass to the API. Everyone understood till here what we have achieved by creating a function over here? Yes, anyone do have any doubt? There may be a possibility people have not understood anything. I would be glad to go ahead and start from the beginning, but we need to make sure that we are aware of what we are done till here, so that we can go ahead and proceed further. Okay, I'll repeat myself again shortly. So, giving GPT an ability. So we are working on a project where we are enabling GPT to go ahead and respond to the questions which are not under the capacity of the normal GPT. So you can open your normal GPT and ask what is the current weather in Mumbai. It won't be going ahead and giving you the answer. So we are giving it the ability to go ahead and do so. And this is achieved by a concept known as function calling, which is the directly available function by OpenAI. Okay, so what it does is it goes ahead and takes a JSON as an input, where you go ahead and define everything in this format only. The structure remains the same. Now the things would change is nothing but what exactly you wanted to go ahead and perform a task. So here we want to go ahead and perform a task where if anyone asks about any country weather, okay, or any state weather or any city weather, it should go ahead and activate this function which is known as get weather information. Okay, and it should go ahead and give us the answer in this format. Okay, so this is what we have achieved till now. Everyone is clear till here? Okay, so this is a chatbot which we are creating over and above GPT, where it could be going ahead and responding on live weather data only. This is an addition capacity which we are going ahead and adding to the existing model. Now there can be two scenarios. There can be a function call or there cannot be a function call. I took an example of this, how to make matar paneer. Okay, you can see here we have a key function call where we talk about weather. Okay, but if we are not talking about weather, there would not be a key of function call. Okay, but we want a chatbot to work on all the other aspect the way which it was going ahead and performing earlier. Okay, so we will add an if and else. Okay, if function call, what this line clearly indicates, if it is not related to weather, then GPT response would be nothing but the response which we are getting directly from the model and feed it as it is and directly return to the user. This is something which would be a GPT response. But here comes the scenario on which we are working right now. Else, what we need to do is we need to go ahead and load that JSON. So we would be creating a variable in which we would be going ahead and loading that JSON. JSON means nothing but a dictionary only, okay? Okay, so JSON function call arguments. Then we would be going ahead and creating. So what exactly we are doing over here is something which I'll explain you once I am done writing. Mhm. I would be explaining you what I'm typing over here. Just allow me 2 minutes when I'm done typing. Okay, done. Okay, so now I'll explain you what we are doing over here. The reason why it is called as function call is something which you would be getting familiar now. Okay, so here we are going ahead and defining or giving a name to a function get weather information. What comes below it is nothing but the logic or the scenarios where this function needs to be created, but this function needs to be called, but this function name is get weather information. Once the GPT has detected that this is a function call and the functional call name is get weather information, it will try to go ahead and call that function, but that function is something which we have not defined till now. Correct. So what we need to do first is we need to go ahead and define that function. So I believe somewhere here we would be going ahead and defining that function. Okay, so df, this would be the function name. Okay, and whatever you saw comes as a slot over there, we would be going ahead and adding as an argument. Okay, and the argument would be nothing but a city name. City name would be nothing but an argument over here. So whatever you have added as a parameters would be going ahead as an argument. So arguments is something which the function takes as an input, and it will here we have only one argument which is nothing but a city name. Okay, so what this function says is, okay, if city name is equal to none, what we need to do is response is equal to what we will keep response as, please enter your city name. And this function will return response. Now let's see how it works. We have defined this function. We are calling this again. Okay, and now we have the function. Now it has not returned us anything, but let's make it as GPT response. Okay, so now I want to understand that how many of you are attentive. So tell me why it has written none. You can just go up and understand. Here I will be showing you the code again. Let me just tell why it has written none by just looking at this function. You can type it over the chat box. Can anyone? So if you can answer this, I believe you are understanding what we are trying to do. Okay, not an issue. I'll tell you. So what this function does is, okay, it goes ahead and return none only when the city name is not mentioned. But here we have mentioned the city name as Prague. So if I just go ahead and mention, I want to know the current weather. User can come and write this as well. So what we need to do is we need to go ahead. Wait a minute. Function. Okay, so if I don't go ahead and mention any city name, you can see it didn't work. Okay, the reason why the city name is important. Okay, so now what we would be doing, we would be going ahead and adding a city name over here, which is Mumbai. Okay, technically it was supposed to ask us the city name which we have mentioned over here. Okay, that please enter a city name is something which it was supposed to go ahead and perform the task, but eventually it didn't did that. I'm not sure why, but it should ask us the city name. But yes, if the city name is mentioned, it goes ahead and fill the slot. Okay, now what we have to do is we just need to go ahead and hit an API. Okay, get the live details from that, feed it to the model as a prompt, and generate a output in natural language. So this is what we would be going ahead and achieving now. So this can be achieved by many freely available APIs. Okay, so there are n number of free APIs available. So one is a rapid API. Okay, you can go over here. Okay, it would be going ahead and giving you the API keys, everything, free, everything, the code and everything would be available here for free. You can go ahead and take it from here. Okay, so I would be taking the weather API. So Yahoo key weather API is freely available with us. Okay, so all it needs to do is you just need to go ahead and select that which language you are using. I am using Python and I would be using the request library to go ahead and perform this task. I'll just copy this code over here. Okay, I'll create a new file, give it any name. Let's try to run this. Let's see if it works. Okay, it has given an information. What if I change the location to Mumbai? Let's see if it works. Okay, it worked for Mumbai as well. Okay, now what initial approach usually do is it went ahead and you go ahead and you know call each and every key, and the text, the output doesn't look quite in a natural language such that everyone could go ahead and understand. You if you have no knowledge about, no technical knowledge about what we say, how API and everything work, you won't be understanding this as an output. So what we want is, if the user is asking, I want to know the current weather in Mumbai, all it should tell is what is the current weather in Mumbai. All this information is not at all important to it, correct? So this is what we would be achieving, only extracting the important information using the API of OpenAI and returning what exactly was the question and the answer to that. Okay, so I would be copying this code. Okay, and I'll bring it over here. Okay, so if city name is equal to none, else I would be calling this API. We need to import request as a library. And here we would be having nothing, but we would be replacing this by something which is nothing but the city name. We would be going ahead and replacing it over here. Okay, and here if we are getting a JSON, we would be going ahead and saving it as a string, and API response, we would be going ahead and saving it as a string over here. Okay, now this API response, we would be going ahead and passing it to the prompt as a prompt to the GPT again. So all we need to do is just copy paste this code again. Okay, so what we need to do is, we need to just write it over here. Refer the below output from the API which is giving the current weather reports about the city. The city is nothing, but it could be anything. So we are just going ahead and making this dynamic. And we would be going ahead and adding what we say the API response over here. Okay, so what we have done, refer the below output from an API which is giving the current weather report about the city. Let's for example take Mumbai, and in the next line there would be there would be a complete report of the weather in that city. And what we need to go ahead and expect as an output, the output tell only the current weather in that city as an output. Okay, so this is what we have gone ahead and added. Now I believe we don't need function call, so we will just go ahead and remove that, and we would be going ahead and printing the output over here again. And we would be going ahead and returning the response as well. And we would be returning the response. Now let's see how it works. So we will just run this. We are not calling it. Okay, so I want to know the current weather in Mumbai. It has taken the slot Mumbai, and if I go ahead and call this, it worked. And let's see what is the GPT response. The current weather in Mumbai is 68 degrees Fahrenheit with cloudy sky, and this is what it has generated from the response which we have generated from the API. Did everyone understood the flow, how it went? Yes, no, maybe. Yes, people. Yeah, people, did you understood what we just did over here? Obviously, we would be going ahead and recalling what we have done. But yes, are we clear? Yes, people. Okay, so the people who have not clearly understood everything, obviously I would be going ahead and repeating. But what I'll do is in the time being, or what I want you to do is I would be just going ahead and quickly sharing this code with you. Okay, I just want you to go through it as I cannot scroll again and again. Okay, I just want you to go through it. Take 5 minutes and just go through the code. Obviously, I would be going ahead and repeating it, but just go through it very quickly. I have shared the code file with you. I just want everyone to just take 5 minutes and go through it. Okay. So for the people who need a quick revision of what we have done today is something which I'll give now. Okay. So it's quite simple. Okay. So what we are doing is whatever, see, GPT has the knowledge till a certain extent, or whatever language model which you would be using would be having the knowledge till certain extent. So think of it in this way, that if a GPT is built and the business is planning to go ahead and create a chatbot, something which GPT is always capable of, then why it would go ahead and approach you for any business if the GPT is already doing that? Okay, so what we have to go ahead and understand and think of a mind, what GPT could not go ahead and do is something which we are trying to achieve. That's the reason a company may go ahead and approach us for the same. Okay, so one thing which GPT cannot do is give you access to live data. We have taken a simple example where we have taken the weather ka API. We could have also taken an API of stock market or cryptocurrency and extracted the latest information about any currency or stock and return it to the user. Okay, this is something also which we could have done. Okay, but now as a project, what we have done over here is we are empowering GPT to go ahead and respond to the live data. Okay, so the code starts from here. Okay, you go ahead and say, I want to know the current weather in Chennai. Okay, whatever the city may be. If you want to know the current weather in Chennai, okay, if you directly go ahead and ask it to the GPT, it will go ahead and tell you that it does not have access to live data. This is what we saw. So what we did is we went for an approach which is known as function calling. Okay, function calling is something where you go ahead and define a function and you tell under what scenario this function would be activated. So we are not defining the function here, we are just naming the function here. We are naming the function as get weather information, and we are saying this as function would be activated under scenarios when user asks for a current weather in any state, country or city. Only under this situation this function should be activated. Now there can be two scenarios. User can directly come and say that I want to know the current weather. Okay, it may not go ahead and mention the city name. Under that situation, the name of the city make it as none, but don't go ahead and add any city name according to your what thinking or understanding. Okay, so we have given the function name as get weather information. Okay, now what we are doing, we are defining this function get weather information, that it will take one argument which is known as city name. If it is none, what you need to do is you need to go ahead and ask the user for the city name. Okay, and return that as a response. Okay, if the city name is mentioned, very good. Now what's the next part which we will be doing? We would be going ahead and calling this URL. Okay, and this URL is nothing but a free API which is easily available on the internet. You can go ahead and take it. It would be providing you with the key, host and everything you would be getting for your account is completely free. You can go ahead and explore. There are many more API which are freely available. Okay, so this API takes nothing but the city name. So if the city name that the user mentioned directly comes over here, okay, and what we do is we take this city name and we go ahead and create an output. The output of this API looks something like this, okay, which is not an a capacity, or I would say the ability for everyone to go ahead and read. It returns each and every parameter, its value and everything real time what is right now. Okay, what we do is we take this as information, okay, and we give it to GPT again. Okay, what we tell GPT, that you have to refer that this is an output from an API. Obviously, we are telling the truth, and the for which city it is for blah blah city. It could be Mumbai. Okay, it is for Mumbai city, and this is the response. What you have to do, you have to only tell us what is the current weather in that city by referring that output. Okay, we are calling the GPT API and we are now getting what this function would be doing. This function would be returning the final answer as an output. Okay, so this is what we have achieved today, and I have also shared the code for the same. Do anyone have any doubt till here? Yes, no? Okay. Anyone have any questions related to anything? Need any help with any of the previous session, previous two sessions? Do you also want this API response.py wala file? Okay, wait, what I'll do, I'll share it any which ways. It would be easy for you. Okay, I have shared both the file from the project today, okay, for you to go ahead and refer. You can go ahead and refer this. So I've just given you a glimpse of what are the capacities of a function call. So you can go ahead and make such a big language model to work or respond what you want it to go ahead and work in a way or respond in a way, okay. So you can take any sort of live data. I gave you example of stock market and cryptocurrency and create your own chatbot, such as you can go and in natural language ask to the model what is the current stock price of a particular stock or which stock I should go ahead and buy, what are the analysis of a particular stock, and it can go ahead and hit any API, and whatever could be the response which you cannot understand by just by looking at that, you can get it in the form of a natural language. So this could be very helpful for you, and you can go ahead and create your own idea, create your own tool according to the ideas which you could have in your mind. Okay, so I have also shared the code for that same. In case if you have any doubt, you can ask me, or we are done for today. Thank you so much, people. Hello, Chandana. I am done with the session for today.
Okay, Faiz, thank you.
Thank you, Chandana.
Okay, students, we are done for the day and we'll meet on tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, thank you for joining.